Nobody saw this coming. Not the fans, not the cast, and certainly not Mendeecees himself. For years, Yandy and Mendeecees presented themselves as the unbreakable power couple of love and hip-hop. The example everyone else was measured against. But now, that carefully built image has completely collapsed. At the center of the fallout is a DNA test that sent shockwaves through social media and left viewers stunned. According to multiple sources close to the situation, Mendeecees filed for divorce almost immediately after receiving results that allegedly confirmed. Yandy lied about the paternity of a child she claimed he fathered during their separation. The most devastating part wasn't just the results, but what they revealed about the truth Yandy had been hiding all along. Insiders say the child was never Mendeecees, and the real father was someone Yandy had previously sworn she never dealt with. What made it worse was how Mendeecees found out. He reportedly learned the truth through a third party before Yandy ever came clean herself. That betrayal cut deep, not only because of the lie, but because of how long it was allowed to linger. Court documents that surfaced shortly after painted an even uglier picture, detailing manipulation, concealed conversations, and one shocking exchange allegedly caught on camera. This wasn't just a divorce filing, it was a full-blown exposure, adding fuel to the fire. Word quickly spread that VH1 had known the truth for months and continued filming anyway. The paperwork hit the court before Yandy had time to regain her footing. Mendeecees Harris didn't just file quietly and walk away. He filed with the intensity of someone who felt pushed past his breaking point. Fulton County records reportedly show a petition citing irreconcilable betrayal involving paternity fraud. And every detail made it clear he was finished. Fans speculated wildly, but rumors turned into confirmation when insiders revealed Mendeecees had taken a private DNA test. The results confirmed that the child Yandy claimed was his, was not biologically related to him. This was not a newborn situation, but an older child Yandy had allegedly explained away as the result of a complicated moment during their rough patch while Mendeecees was incarcerated at the time. She reportedly downplayed the situation, telling him she didn't believe the child was his. But if there was any chance, she wanted to do the right thing. Mendeecees agreed to handle it privately, without cameras or public attention. But whispers began circulating among cast members, especially when the child was seen around their home more frequently. That's when things took an unexpected turn. During a live stream meant to promote her skincare line, Erica Mena made a pointed remark saying, "Let's not act like Yandy been honest. She got Mendeecees raising a kid that ain't even his." The comment went viral within minutes. At first, viewers assumed it was another reckless Erica moment. Then Mendeecees went silent on social media. No posts, no reactions, no explanations. Sources close to him say he was devastated not just by the DNA results, but by the realization that Yandy had known the truth for months. He reportedly told a friend, "It ain't the kid. I love that little one. It's the fact she let me carry shame and questions when she already knew the answer." For him, the betrayal wasn't physical. It was emotional. And it crossed a line he couldn't ignore. Yandy initially tried to manage the situation quietly, posting a vague message about people lying when the truth is heavy. That only made things worse. Fans demanded answers and bloggers dissected every word. Then a leaked private text conversation surfaced, showing Yandy admitting she already had the test results months earlier but didn't tell Mendeecees because she felt he wasn't ready. That leak sealed public opinion. To make matters worse, an anonymous LHHL producer claimed VH1 executives encouraged Yandy to delay the truth until the reunion. Instead of controlling the narrative, everything exploded. For fans who once idolized their relationship, the disappointment felt personal and permanent. Social media showed no mercy once the story broke. Comment sections were flooded with brutal reactions ranging from "Yandy played us all" to the now familiar phrase, "Men lie, women lie, but DNA don't." Others went even harder, claiming that every marriage speech she ever delivered was nothing more than a love and hip-hop script rehearsed for cameras. As the backlash grew louder, VH1 attempted to quietly distance itself from the scandal, but fans were not convinced. Old footage surfaced showing producers filming with Yandy just days before the divorce filing, suggesting the network knew exactly what was coming. Many viewers accused VH1 deliberately pushing the drama forward to maximize ratings and milk the storyline. Behind the scenes, Mendeecees' legal team began preparing the next phase of the divorce. Sources claim it may include potential defamation claims, breach of emotional trust, and child-related financial compensation. Throughout all of this, Yandy remained mostly silent. But in this situation, silence did not look like strength. Instead, it felt like confirmation. 3 days after filing, Mendeecees finally broke his silence, and what followed shook the internet to its core. He posted a raw 6-minute video to his verified Instagram account that felt nothing like a publicity move and everything like a breaking point. Gone was the polished image fans were used to seeing. There was no background music, no dramatic editing, and no carefully chosen caption. Just a man sitting still, visibly exhausted, speaking directly to the camera. In a quiet but steady voice, he said, "I didn't ask for perfect. I asked for truth. And now that I know what's real, I can't unsee it." Within hours, the video racked up millions of views. Comment sections filled with broken heart emojis, messages of support, and disbelief. Viewers agreed on one thing. This was not just another love and hip-hop breakup. What truly stopped the internet cold, however, was a single sentence at the end of his message. And for those wondering, yes, the child calls me daddy. That line landed like an emotional gut punch. Even the loudest bloggers went quiet. Because despite everything, he had loved that child fully. Now he was being forced to grieve not only the collapse of his marriage, but also the loss of a bond built on a lie. According to sources close to the situation, Yandy was unraveling behind closed doors. One stylist, speaking anonymously, claimed Yandy had not left her home in days and was actively avoiding filming. She thought she had more time to fix it, the stylist said. She never believed he would actually file. But while Yandy struggled privately, the public narrative slipped completely out of her control. Multiple insiders from the Love and Hip Hop production team began leaking information. One even shared screenshots of a private group chat where Yandy allegedly told producers she planned to reveal the truth on camera once she could control the angle. The leaked messages read, "I'll own it, but not like I'm dirty. I'll flip it. I was protecting everyone. That's the storyline I want." The reaction was swift and unforgiving. Fans accused her of using real-life deception as a plot device to salvage her on-screen reputation. Even longtime supporters found it hard to defend. Then came reunion rumors. A production source claimed VH1 canceled the in-person season 13 reunion because neither Mendeecees nor Yandy would confirm attendance. And producers feared the situation was too volatile instead. VH1 allegedly offered both parties solo confessionals. Mendeecees refused outright. Yandy remained undecided. Meanwhile, cast members began reacting publicly. Remy Ma reposted Mendeecees' video with the caption, "Real ones hurt different." Chrissy Lampkin commented under a blog post, "The truth always comes out, and it always costs more than the lie." As the fallout spread, Yandy's business ventures suffered. Her skincare brand was hit with negative reviews and boycott calls. One viral comment read, "How can we trust a product if we can't trust the person behind it?" Then VH1 went completely silent, waiting to see which side the public chose. Yandy, the longtime franchise favorite, or Mendeecees, the man reclaiming his dignity in real time. That was the question dominating timelines, comment sections, and group chats everywhere. And as the days passed, the tide continued to turn sharply against Yandy. What should have remained a deeply private family issue had exploded into a full-scale public disaster. The DNA test was no longer just a biological confirmation. It became a symbol of everything Mendeecees had secretly feared. That the loyalty he relied on was never truly mutual. Yandy believed she could ride out the storm by saying nothing at all. But silence once again began to resemble guilt, more than grace. With every passing hour, new details leaked online, and none of them softened public perception. The woman once praised as the moral compass of love and hip-hop was now being labeled a master manipulator. The evidence kept stacking, and the narrative was slipping further from her control. The final blow came from a former cast coordinator who anonymously submitted a detailed timeline of the paternity scandal to the Shade Room. The document included time-stamped filming schedules, internal emails, and cast call sheets. According to the timeline, Yandy had known for more than 8 months that the child was not Mendeecees. Even worse, she allegedly allowed him to continue believing otherwise the entire time, while publicly letting the child call him dad. For many fans, that crossed an unforgivable line. Social media went into full meltdown after an unaired clip leaked online. In the video, Yandy is seen off-camera speaking casually with a female producer. Her words were clear and calculated. "I just need to make it to the reunion," she said. "Then I'll come clean. I can spin it if it's fresh." There was no remorse in her tone, only strategy. That single moment changed everything. Fans immediately branded her manipulative, heartless, and more focused on branding than family. One viral tweet read, "This isn't gaslighting. This is emotional arson." The backlash intensified when Mendeecees' oldest son posted a cryptic Instagram story that said, "Blood don't make you real. Lies do damage." The post ignited speculation and heartbreak. Whether intentional or not, it confirmed what many already feared. The entire household was fractured and the children were trapped in the emotional fallout, facing mounting pressure. Yandy finally attempted a public defense. During a live stream, she appeared tearful but composed. "I did what I thought was right at the time," she said. "I didn't lie to be malicious. I did it to protect peace in my home." The response was brutal. Viewers flooded the comments calling her out. Protecting peace doesn't mean lying for 8 months. You're only sorry because you got caught. You built your brand on black love. Now look at it as if the situation wasn't already chaotic. A former friend of the man believed to be the child's biological father came forward in a podcast interview that quickly surpassed 2 million views. He claimed he and Yandy had been romantically involved while Mendeecees was incarcerated. He said she told him not to worry, that the situation would disappear. Clearly, it did not. Longtime Love and Hip Hop fans began revisiting old reunion episodes, scrutinizing Yandy's facial expressions, her pauses, her carefully worded answers, and overcompensating smiles. One fan compiled a video titled, "Yandy was playing us all along. Watch this." It reached over 1 million views in under 48 hours. Meanwhile, Mendeecees continued taking the high road. In a short Instagram story, he wrote, "This ain't about drama. It's about clarity and peace. I owe that to my children." Fans respected his restraint. The contrast between his quiet grace and Yandy's aggressive damage control made the divide even clearer. Cast members began choosing sides. Carly Red posted a selfie with the caption, "Sometimes the devil hides in a crown." Bombi commented underneath, "A whole sermon." Nobody needed names to understand the message. At this point, fans were no longer questioning whether Mendeecees would follow through with the divorce. They were waiting to see what receipts would surface in court. Legal sources confirmed his team filed additional protections, citing emotional distress and intentional deception with reputational damage. That language wasn't standard. It was deliberate. Mendeecees was preparing for war, including a push for full custody. Court filings alleged Yandy knowingly exposed him to paternity rumors while allowing public suspicion to grow, all while portraying herself as a martyr. One insider explained, "It's not just the DNA lie. It's the betrayal behind it." Yandy was also losing cast support. Young Jock went live and said, "This one different. You can recover from cheating. But this." He raised that child in good faith. Carly Red reposted the clip writing, "The truth hits harder than edits ever could." Behind the scenes, Love and Hip Hop executives panicked. Multiple crew members were reportedly subpoenaed regarding what producers knew and when. VH1 allegedly offered a 1-hour special for both sides. Mendeecees declined immediately. Yandy didn't. Then a voicemail allegedly surfaced with her saying, "He doesn't need to know everything. We're good. We're good. The fans love us. That's what matters." The clip was grainy, but the voice was unmistakable, and that was all it took. Fans were officially done. Hashtags like #FreeMendeecees, #YanDoI exposed, and #DNA deception trended for days across platforms Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok alike. Even major fan pages that once celebrated the couple began deleting old edits or posting public "we were wrong" disclaimers. The shift was brutal and irreversible. Behind the scenes, the emotional toll on Mendeecees was becoming impossible to ignore. Friends close to him revealed he had started therapy, struggling to process not only the collapse of his marriage, but the emotional loss of a child he had bonded with deeply. "The kid doesn't know what's happening," one source shared, and Mendeecees is trying to be a man and not abandon them, even though the relationship was built on a lie. That internal conflict. Loving a child while grieving the truth was reportedly tearing him apart. By contrast, Yandy was now facing more than just divorce. Legal insiders hinted at possible civil countersuits, including claims for emotional distress and reputational harm. Rumors also began circulating that Mendeecees was considering writing a tell-all book, from their early love and hip-hop days to the final collapse of their empire. The story would reportedly expose everything that happened behind closed doors. If released, many believed it would sell out instantly. At this point, the damage was permanent. No PR campaign could repair it. No Instagram reel could soften the blow. What was once love and hip-hop's golden couple had become a cautionary tale. A blueprint of what happens when love is treated like branding and trust is sacrificed for optics. The cracks in Yandy's carefully curated image widened into full collapse. For years, she had crafted herself as the righteous woman, the loyal wife, the one who held everything together while the world watched. But now that same world was turning on her. Not because she made a mistake, but because she orchestrated silence. Because she chose deception over discomfort. And now the bill was due. As legal pressure intensified, a second wave of evidence hit the blogs. Court-ordered transcripts revealed text messages between Yandy and a love and hip-hop producer. In them, she allegedly insisted, "Don't air anything with the kid until I say so. I'm building the moment." That moment wasn't a confession. It was a rollout. And it destroyed whatever empathy the public had left. Tammy Rivera entered the conversation next, reposting a viral quote to her stories. "They love to pretend until the truth comes knocking. And when it does, you see who's real." She didn't tag anyone. She didn't need to. Fans understood immediately. Now, the most painful question loomed. What happens to the child? Mendeecees had reportedly stepped up fully, attending school events, covering medical costs, and showing up without cameras present. He stepped in before knowing the facts, a source said. Now that he knows, he's broken, but he's not walking away. His legal team began preparing an unprecedented petition, seeking non-biological visitation rights based on emotional parenting. The move only deepened public respect for him. Fans saw a man who had been deceived and humiliated, yet still chose compassion. Meanwhile, Yandy attempted to regain control through a podcast episode titled "Intentions Aren't Always Enough." She admitted holding on to the truth out of fear and denied malicious intent. The response was ruthless. "You're not a victim. You're the director," one comment read. Even Essence quietly removed her features. And as VH1 stayed silent, cast members began turning on the network itself. All of it was fake. "I'm not selling my soul for a bag." That statement opened the floodgates. Another cast member followed up online saying, "Mendeecees is proof they'll sacrifice you for views and clap when you cry." That was the moment the narrative officially shifted away from gossip and toward accountability. Soon after, Mona Scott Young issued a private internal memo to staff. It warned that the franchise was under legal review and instructed everyone to avoid public statements. The memo leaked within hours. By then, the damage was already done. The audience knew the truth. And they wanted consequences. Pressure mounted so quickly that a VH1 insider leaked plans for a potential franchise. Wide hiatus. Ratings had plummeted since the scandal erupted. Advertisers quietly pulled back. Streaming platforms began flagging multiple love and hip-hop seasons for possible content warnings. The empire that once thrived on chaos was suddenly collapsing under its own weight. Through it all, Mendeecees remained steady. No drama, no public clapbacks. His social media became a space for fatherhood, healing, and rebuilding. In just 2 weeks, he gained over 400,000 followers. Yandy experienced the opposite. Nearly 500,000 followers disappeared. As Mendeecees prepared for his final court appearance to secure both divorce and visitation rights. Fans began calling it the redemption finale. No matter how it ended, one thing was clear. Mendeecees had stepped out of the shadows. And Yandy had fallen straight into them. The final hearing was quiet. But everyone knew history was being made inside that courtroom. The couple, once celebrated as love and hip-hop's golden love story, now stood on opposite sides of a legal battle that stretched far beyond reality television. There were no cameras, no confessionals, just two broken people facing the aftermath of a truth that refused to stay buried. Mendeecees arrived first, dressed entirely in black. It wasn't fashion. It was finality. When he spoke to the judge, his words were simple and direct. I've been loyal to my family even when I didn't understand everything. But I can't pretend I still trust someone who let me live a lie. I need to protect my peace, and that means walking away from the person who took it." Yandy, dressed conservatively in navy blue, responded through her attorney. Fear, timing, and overwhelming pressure were cited as reasons for withholding the truth. But the courtroom wasn't moved. Not after everything that had surfaced. When the ruling came down, the judge granted the divorce, awarded Mendeecees full custody of their biological children, and allowed limited contact with the child proven not to be his, pending further evaluation. What echoed most, however, was the judge's closing statement. Trust is the foundation of any union. Without it, what you build becomes a performance, not a partnership. And just like that, the curtain closed. Outside the courthouse, reporters crowded the steps. Mendeecees said nothing. He walked straight to his car, shielding his face, not from shame, but from exhaustion. Inside that vehicle was a man who had been publicly ridiculed, misunderstood, and dragged through a narrative he never authored. Yet he stood up for himself, his truth, and his children. He didn't look like a reality star. He looked like a man finally freed online. The reaction was immediate and overwhelming. He didn't just walk away. He walked away with dignity. Yandy fumbled her entire legacy for a storyline. Protect Mendeecees at all costs. Support poured in loudly from fans, quietly from cast members, and thoughtfully from cultural critics. Hashtags like #TeamMDC, #TruthOverTV, and #JusticeInReality trended. As think pieces labeled the situation, the downfall of performative relationships, the audience was done being fooled by curated love and scripted loyalty. In the weeks that followed, Yandy retreated from public view. Business appearances were paused. Campaigns were quietly canceled. Her main Instagram page was deactivated without explanation. Rumors spread of a permanent love and hip-hop exit. Meanwhile, Mendeecees announced the launch of a foundation supporting men dealing with emotional abuse and paternity-related trauma. It was a clear message. What broke him would not define him. He was rebuilding, not on television, but on truth. This wasn't just drama. It was devastation. We watched Mendeecees carry a child, a lie, and a legacy that was never his, and still choose healing over hatred. That kind of strength is rare. Yandy's mask cracked. And the truth spoke louder than any reunion episode ever could. If you believe Mendeecees deserved better, let the comments reflect it. Share this if you've ever been misled by someone who claimed protection while choosing themselves. And if you're tired of fake love being sold as gospel, stay tuned. Over here, the truth always comes first. Always comes first.